Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers. I say a lot of times, the only Smash Brothers podcast, the blah, 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 blah. I actually don't know if that's true. So let me just say one that I know is definitely not true. The only Smash Brothers podcast. In sentence. That's not true at all. But I can say it because nobody watches and they can't challenge me on my lies. Ha ha! I'm
It's the American
Zantok.
way.
I want a new. Take two! Hi, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Super Cast Brothers. It's a Smash podcast. It's what we do. I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. That's Jonno, otherwise known as my eternal tormentor. I can't just say otherwise known as John, because that's just not as fun. It's like, here's John, also known as John. It's like, okay.
John Jones.
All right. Yeah. Now you're getting to John Jones.
Jonathan Jones, Super Mario RPG. Not actually a shark.
Too. No, or a Martian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, this sure is a show that we do.
This is a show that we do, and this is our 6th season. Sometimes I wonder, God.
And it's our 150th episode or whatever.
We're not that many.
Including live episodes and special episodes.
There's only been we would be 150 with the specials. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize we were at 140. This is 146. I was thinking we were in the 120s.
Yeah. No, we're in the 140s. I mean, we're finally our age is finally meeting the number of episodes we've done. We're 146 today, everyone.
Yeah. We've had 11 special episodes, I believe.
Wow, so this is technically
counting all of Roster Redux. We had Smashtopia live last season. The 2 episodes ago was our Nintendo vs. Capcom live. And then we had, back in season 1, for some reason, we did that live Q&A that nobody showed up to.
Didn't Jake show up to it? I don't.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't remember.
That's what I said. And he did. He was the one person that showed up.
So 157 episodes total then. Wow.
Yeah. This was technically 157.
Yeah, and on another technicality, just counting the main show, it's still 146, which is pretty nuts. Oh,
yeah. Episode 200 won't be until season 8. And it's gonna be a Smashtopia, so we're gonna have to do something special for that. Even though we normally do special stuff into the season, but 200 we gotta our episode 100 we did that whole look bound supercast with that on topic. 200 is gonna be a Smashtopia. 300 is gonna be a Smasher Dash.
Interesting.
I don't know what the hell that one's not gonna hit until season 12, and that's gonna
year.
That's the first That's the first Smasher Dash of year 12.
Oh my god!
It's also gonna be Cycle 100.
Mm-hmm.
So you might just make that whole set special. The start of season 12 is gonna have to be nuts.
Yeah, so
if we continue, if we go past season 10.
Yeah. That's our commitment right now. Our commitment to each other at the start of this was 10 seasons.
No, it wasn't. It was 5.
Yeah. Well,
and then at the end of at the end of 5, we said, okay, season 10.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And at the end of 5, honestly, yeah, I was feeling kind of this was a lot. That was a big year with Roster Redux. I was winded, TBH. But then getting into this season, I think there's a renewed interest. I think for me, there's some interesting stuff we're doing. So we'll tuck into it. I think we'll get to year 10 and then go from there.
And it'll be Roster Redux 2.
God.
You were contemplating quitting.
Felt nice, that world.
Honestly, like I do see it though. Like I know, like at the end of season 5, like we were discussing possibly taking like a year off,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know that that's a bad thing to do at some point, especially if we somehow get the year 10 and there's been no new Smash game yet. We might just take some time off.
Oh, that would, yeah. I
I
think that's
highly
very
doubt that'll
unlikely.
happen. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely considering we're in that Switch
Mm-hmm.
2 presentation very soon. When does
Yeah,
this episode go up? Oh yeah. Yeah, that Switch 2 presentation is in
2 weeks.
that's what I was thinking about. Technically 3 weeks. No, wait, no. 2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks from now
Mm-hmm.
will be the I know a little under. A little under from this airing date will be the Switch 2
Mm-hmm.
presentation.
Right. Well, if we want to get,
It
if you
all
want to get technical, it's a little under 3 for more of a recording, and a
yeah.
little under 2 for when it drops. Okay.
Yes. And I'll go ahead and say it because technically it's a spoiler, but I don't care in this case. We have an on topic that's coming up like soon after that, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be that whole episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're just gonna make the episode about the Switch 2 presentation, unless it sucks, in which case we might pivot. Who knows? Probably not.
Even if it's
Because we can still talk next Smash.
Yeah, considering the plans that we have for that episode, I think we're going to end up doing it even if it
Yeah,
does suck.
yeah, I think we're gonna have to.
But it sucking is also highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Like to me, it felt a little underwhelming to see the Switch 2 reveal, and that's only because we knew about it for so long.
Yeah. Literally, the only thing that we weren't the only thing that was, if for people that were following leaked information, the only thing that was completely 100% new about the Switch 2 presentation was the casual reveal of a new Mario Kart game and DK's redesign. Even the part where they were teasing, like they showed the Joy-Con like scrolling or rolling across the table, kind of like, a computer mouse.
Yeah.
Even that was something that had been rumored that we were going to have mouse functionality, and then that pretty much confirmed there. And then we've had like more soft confirmation on that. I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot they'd be able to do with that. Mario Maker 3, Kid Icarus Uprising port, Civilization games, and yes, actually, FPS games, Splatoon with mouse controls. That's gonna be interesting.
Art Academy, it's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be excited.
I think we could see a lot of DS and 3DS ports.
Mm-hmm. RuneScape. Let's do it. Why not?
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. One of those RPGs is definitely better than the other.
I mean, we know that they've talked about, they've kind of talked about it being, they said like, oh yeah, we can't do it on Switch, but maybe the next one's like, there's discussions. There's absolutely discussions.
For sure. Yeah, I think the direct will be about games. Like we will get game reveals, some down the road, some TBA on release, and then the launch titles. And Mario Kart 9 will probably be one of those titles.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the excitement comes in, because for most concerted gamers, the kind of people that do podcasts like this, we literally saw it. We saw it before it was revealed officially.
So it's like, oh my god, design documents and then 3D printing their own versions at home.
Yeah.
And then fucking Genki showed off one that they had somehow got a hold of. They got in trouble for it, but they also were not under an NDA from Nintendo. So it's like, well, what could you do to us?
Yeah, exactly. Probably nothing other than maybe be like, oh, we're not going to sell your shit in the future, but whatever. They already made some stuff that's going to be sold first. So it's all that said, worst kept secret. We kind of I still don't get the strategy of how they just waited for so long to, like, it just still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They could have done this months ago. But we're gonna make the most of it. That episode will be fun. It'll be special for many reasons that you'll see. You will see,
That said, that episode, it's still gonna be on our normal upload schedule, so it's still not gonna go up for a couple weeks after the reveal. But that's just how our
It's gonna be the
schedule
next
goes.
topic.
Yeah.
And the Smash or Dash we have planned in between will be special in its own way.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun, silly one.
Yeah.
But let's get more into what we're actually supposed to be doing. It's a Smashtopia episode. We're not doing them yet. We still got to do our showcases first.
Yeah.
Just showing some things that we've made on Smashtopia off podcast because we'd like to show off that more things than just characters. Even though sometimes we do characters as our showcases. But for my first one here, so last Smashtopia, I don't remember how this conversation got started, but we were talking about the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Like the actual ocarina itself, not the game, the actual ocarina that Link uses. We were talking about it. I don't remember fully like what the conversation was, how we got there, but some comment was made about like the ocarina working in Smash. I think it might have been me that said that. And I was saying times like, but I don't even know how you would make that work. And then like literally as I was saying those words, I figured it out. And sometimes that's just how things happen. And I'll be like, no, that seems impossible. How would you even I figured it out. Just right there.
Yeah.
I think, god damn it. And I said, it's like, okay, well, I guess that's going to be my showcase for our next Smashtopia episode. And then literally half an hour before we were scheduled to start recording this episode, I wrote out the information I posted on the wiki. I've had like very little motivation for like, I'm still good for the show. I'm saying this both to Jonno and to viewers. I'm still good for the show, making special episodes. But my motivation for doing stuff outside of podcasts has plummeted in recent months. I think it's largely because last year and the year before, I did a lot of posting on the wiki. And I'm a bit drained. I gotta step back.
I gotta say, you sound like I did after I tried to do the 365 days challenge for Smashtopia.
And I think mathematically I did more, but I did over a 2-year period. Actually, I think the first year I probably did about 2 years ago. I think I did about 300.
Yeah,
because I started doing like 4 a week or something, and then it became like 5 a week, and then last year I was doing 2 or 3 a week for half the year. I didn't.
I mean that all tracks now, but thinking back on it, you just don't realize you do that much. Wow.
Yeah, and now this year I'm posting 100 new stage ideas, not as submissions, but as like blog entries, and like each takes a 2-paragraph.
Yeah.
Which is
I've enjoyed reading those. I've enjoyed that a lot. As far as the submissions go, it's like in a way we've almost swapped it. I don't think I'm doing 300 submissions this year, but I don't want to either. But I have enjoyed getting back into it, like outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
Finally, by the way, it took a while. The refractory on that was about a 2-year period.
It can be draining.
But we're back.
It can be very exhausting making stuff, especially if you're trying to put yourself on any kind of schedule of do this many in this time frame.
Right.
It's
right.
Oh.
Especially when at best we're doing this for ourselves and Kelly.
Yeah.
Really we're kind of just doing it for ourselves. There's no guarantee that you're going to read everything I do or I'm going to read everything you do. So at the end of the day, we're doing it because we want to. And so if, by all means, don't do 300 a year.
Yeah. And neither of us expect the other to read everything each other does, largely because, especially with me, I've posted a fuck ton. And 2, it's like, oh yeah, I posted a moveset for this character from this game. It's like, cool. I've never touched that game or know anything about that character, so cool work, but I can't care about it. Not that I don't care, but I can't care. If you if you do a moveset for the baby from Bio Miracle, whatever the fuck, it's like good on ya, but I don't care.
Yeah, for sure. It's that is what it is. Although, every so often we can just pull one out there and
I mean, I know with
get
that
the
character
wool
in
over someone's
particular, you
eyes for the
said you did an
showcase.
assist trophy because you couldn't think of how to do him as a character. So.
Oh, for Upa. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I might revisit that. I have a problem with making babies into characters. Both Upa and Chucky Finster are just assist trophies.
Yeah. I was trying to think,
Yeah.
like, wait, what baby have you actually made? I don't think you've done it. Meanwhile, I have not made Baby Mario yet.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a problem with putting babies into fighting games.
Except for Babyhead.
Maybe Nickelodeon All Star Brawl had it right. Also, Babyhead's not in a. Well, I guess they're an assist feature. So not an assist feature. They're part of Captain Kamino's moveset. They aren't in the fighting game itself.
There you go.
I think they are an assist character in MVC 1. Or is that Marvel Superheroes? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have to check. Anyways, Ocarina of Time. How does it work in Smash? Well, I'm glad you asked, Jonno. So first of all, you remember the special flag item and how when you pick it up, you just instantly start holding it above your head?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a little bit of similarity there. You pick up the Ocarina of Time. You don't automatically stop doing anything. It's just, in your hands. But when you press the A button to attack, you will just stop, and you're going to be locked into an animation as your character starts playing the ocarina, specifically the Song of Time. If the player is allowed to completely play the Song of Time in its entirety, then the clock's timer will instantly either add or take away 30 seconds. And if there was 30 seconds or left, if there was 30 seconds or less left on the clock, the match ends instantly.
Nice.
Now, obviously, what if the match doesn't have a time on it? Well, then the ocarina doesn't spawn. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a soft match or whatnot, or just a stamina match, then there will be no ocarina of time because it has nothing to do. But that's that. That's the item. If somebody's in the middle of playing it and they get interrupted by being attacked, they'll just instantly drop it, and then somebody else could pick it up. But that's it. That's how the Ocarina of Time functions in Smash.
Well, that is so simple and yet so satisfying.
Yeah, it's a cool little idea.
Yeah, that worked very well.
The problem that I initially had when I was dismissing before was like, well, how do you manage time travel in Smash outside of just like healing damage or repositioning your spell on the map, which is what I did when I made a Tracer moveset years ago, like 2016 that was. Dear God, it's been almost 10 years. Since Smashtopia is almost... Wait a minute! Smashtopia is almost 10 years old.
Wow. Because you can start with Kelly and figure out an anniversary.
I'm pretty sure I started it in 2016. Hang on, I need to look at Black Shadow because he was the first character I posted.
Holy crap.
Oh, 2017. Now we got a little bit more time. A little bit more time.
Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah, just going through my contributions here. I can't believe there's been that many.
I have over 130 non-veteran characters. Not well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Technically, it's some of those I count as non-veteran, even though because I either made them before they were at the Smash or like Pichu, where I give them a completely fresh stuff moveset.
Mm-hmm.
They're counted as my original at that point.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I saw that. There's been a lot of discussion on Supercast for this Discord page lately.
It's usually kicked up by Kelly posting a chart or some artwork, and then we respond.
Yeah, all that to say, if you want to, if you're out there and you want to join us on, the link's always in the description on YouTube and exists on social media and whatnot.
Speaking of, I think we should mention our links in our descriptions have changed. We removed our I think you might still have like your business Facebook in there, I think. But removed my personal Facebook, we removed the Twitter links, and instead we added in Blue Sky links for the two of us. I don't know how active you are on it, Jonno. I try to at least post like when I'm going live on stream, and then just like after stream I'll do like something like my thoughts on what the game what happened in stream that day.
Right.
I haven't done a whole lot beyond that.
Yeah, I haven't done anything besides setting up my account. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I'll respond to something that you posted. How about that?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I'll find that out later. But yes, we made Twitter our X and got on Blue Sky, and that's kind of that.
Yeah, I never use Twitter anyways, but I figure if I'm going to create this new account, let's actually try and promote my shit and be a little active on it for once.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved working on that format of social media in the past. Honestly, it's where I've thrived with promoting and interacting with people. So I'm sure once I get into Blue Sky, I'll probably. But yeah, go check that out, especially Zantoks, because he actually has things on. And Discord, things are happening there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn.
It is your turn. I'm loving the freeze frame I have on you.
Oh, I see it too. Damn.
It's great.
Quite smug. I think that answers my question. I hit the snag on Zoom the other day, and I was like, I wonder if it's a Zoom problem. No, it turns out, yeah. Should I leave it there so that way we at least have an image?
Unless you know how to fix it, then yeah, probably.
I mean, I would just turn off the camera and turn it back on again.
I mean, do it.
Oh, okay.
There we go. All right, your first showcase. What you got for me?
Okay. I wonder if it'll do that again. Anyway, I have for you a creature of the sea. The Fanta Manta. Maybe is it of the sea? I kind of.
I have no idea. I never played Sunshine.
It's like it's adjacent to the sea. So yeah, in the stage Serena Beach, you which does not exist on Smashtopia, so I currently have it staged down as a stage on Smashtopia. Oh, freeze frame again. We're gonna keep it there.
Not only freeze frame, but they didn't hear you say the stage, so I'll just say Rico Harbor. It says replacement.
Yeah,
he made that
Rico
on the
Harbor.
wiki a while ago.
Yeah. So we discussed a while ago that Fanta Manta would be I was like, oh, big man, he does the Fanta Manta thing, and it did not really translate as his Final Smash, but so I wanted to kind of do that in Smash somehow, and thinking about it, I might still try to do a boss at some point or an assist or something, but Spirit was where I was like, okay, at least we can like tie it into somehow directly, and it was kind of just the easiest thing to do, honestly, at the start, and I wanted like a couple of very brand new submissions, so both of these ones are recent for me on this showcase, kind of purposefully. So Fanta Manta is it's the silhouette. It's a multicolored silhouette. It starts out like oranges-ish of a manta ray, a giant manta ray, and it has made Hotel Delfina on Serena Beach disappear. And you must defeat Fanta Manta. It's a phantom manta ray. It's kind of in the name. You have to defeat it to like get rid of its possession of the hotel and have a lot of bing bada boom. It's the first shine of the stage. So how do you do that? Mario uses the hover ability, split up into a billion other tiny little ones, and then you just kind of rinse and repeat, and it gets hectic because there's like a bunch of little ones floating around that are electrified. It's crazy. It's a fight indeed. And again, not too dissimilar from Big Man's boss fight in certain regards in Splatoon 3. So the fight takes place on a version of Rico Harbor. This is a spirit of Fanta Manta, without stage hazards. And it features a giant invisible big man. So I have it down right now. When he's hit hard enough, he'll sprout tiny electrified versions of himself onto the stage. It's either when he's hit hard enough or enough. So there's two caveats. So you're still fighting the same amount total. So after enough time passes without more tiny electrical big man foes will begin to pop the stage. Multicolored, yada yada, with up to 7 at a time needing to be dispatched. Their electricity will fade in and out, prompting players with melee-based attack options to get crafty with the battle against them. So there will be a lot of tossing of items to dispatch these foes, or using the right badge or whatever. The player must KO each big man to win.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of rambled on, but I think you got the point.
Yeah, there was, some of the mic stuff that happens. I was reading
Mm-hmm.
through and be like, okay, missing word. What did he say?
Yeah, I don't know what to do
I don't know
about
why.
that.
Like, it
I'm
only
with this.
really happens when we've got you, like generally when we're not doing recordings and whatnot, you're fine. Just for some reason, sometimes. I don't know,
I
man.
have noise suppression just now. I wonder if that'll do something. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, that's one from each of us. For my second one, I've got a stage. John, I have a question for you. Do you know
Yeah.
what a strawberry is?
No.
Did you say no?
Yeah, I said no.
You'll fit in with Princess Peach and the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom because they think that piranha plants are strawberries and they put them on cakes.
I remember this fondly when we were recording it. Gaming. Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah. Yeah, so Peach's birthday
Yeah.
cake is a stage that was originally from, the original Mario Party. And then it came back in Mario Party Superstars. And honestly, like, this is something I want them to do just with every future Mario Party game, kind of like what they do with Mario Kart. Can we please see some like older boards come back in new ways? Like, I would love that because like I didn't play the originals, and some older like I like the GameCube era games. And I'd rather see some of those
Me
come
too.
back, like Koopa's Tower or the Tycoon City one that was like a Monopoly type thing. That was what the fuck is happening to you?
That was weird.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah,
You're just
I
getting
saw
like
it.
little bars of static over you.
That was really disconcerting. So yeah, I'm buying a webcam as you talk about this.
Yeah, you fucking
Yeah.
should. Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's I want we made a you made a Mario Party stage a long while back off of Waluigi's Island,
Mm-hmm.
and it had like incorporated all the mini games and such. I had Peach's birthday cake in mind as something I wanted to do for several years. It's not going to involve all the mini games. This is just going to be like, here's a stage, here's some hazards to it. So how it's going to work is the layout is kind of pyramid shaped. You got your big, thick platform that just goes all the way straight down, like the main platform in the Brawl Yoshi's Island stage, and there'll be two floating platforms above that, with the highest one being about a third to half the size of the lower floating platform. And all three of
Right.
these platforms are going to have a strawberry, or not all three of these platforms, the top two floors will have strawberries on them. And by strawberries, I mean plant buds. Spiky plant buds. Baby piranha plants, essentially.
Right. Right.
And so they're not always going to be there, but there'll be these four dedicated spots, three on the middle platform, one on the top, and they can just sprout throughout the match. When a fighter gets close, they will try to take a bite out of them. Kind of makes sense. But only two piranha plants can be growing on the cake at a time, and as time passes, they will either wither away on their own, or they will die if they've been attacked and taken enough damage. Their bites
Right.
aren't super dangerous. Like, this is not, an ultimate chimera level threat, but they'll still damage you and knock you away. Maybe don't walk on top of somebody's cake. That's kind of the lesson here. Don't do that.
I could say I've never done that and never will.
You've never done a cakewalk?
No.
Do you know
Have you?
do you know what a cakewalk is?
Is it when you walk on cake?
No. It's when somebody plays music and you walk along a set of like little place mats or whatever the fuck, little spots, and then the music stops and somebody wins the prize.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah. I
We
don't
can
know why it
arrange to do
exists,
that
but it's a
sometime.
thing. It exists. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's Peach's birthday cake. A nice, pretty simple stage, but it takes, what that Mario Kart board, what that Mario Party board is, and it turns it exactly into what it should be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Now I have something that I think you'll like a lot. But firstly, yeah, the strawberry thing, that's pretty funny. How they like really but yeah, looking at the stage layout, I like it. It's pretty simple and effective again. Like just well done.
Yeah.
Now then, for something I know you'll just love.
Oh God.
We are deep sea themed today because
But
my next submission is another character from Endless Ocean.
wait, how?
Well, we did the diver, right? And that
Yeah.
was explainable, I think, at the very least.
Yeah.
Well, those squid kids got me thinking about, from Splatoon, got me thinking about squid adults. So I wanted to have representation for them in Smash. So we have a giant squid. It's a playable character now in Smashtopia Wiki.
Jonno?
Yeah.
I'll wait. I
Are
have
you sure?
questions. I'll
Are
yeah. I'm just gonna wait until you get through
Okay.
it.
Okay. So yeah, the giant squid is something you can observe in the ocean and record. And it's like a mythical creature, kind of like it was for quite some time in our history. Before it was turned out these things were huge and real, and they wash up ashore onto beaches sometimes. And you're like, wow, that's a giant squid. So yeah, the inspiration behind the Kraken, other things, is now playable in Smash. If Ridley can be playable, so can a giant squid in theory. And so
How to
we'll
get away with murder.
it's a TV show starring what the hell? I forget her name. But yes. Oh right, Viola Davis. Anyway, general information because we have to go through the whole moveset, like don't we? So yes, it's a giant squid. It stands about maybe the same height as Ridley, maybe slightly taller. And its entrance is the giant squid breaches through a dark whirlpool swirling with bioluminescence. Its tentacles break through the water first before it pulls its massive body through, slinking onto the stage as the whirlpool vanishes. So you see, there's a bit of an eldritch nature to this. Kirby wears a comical and giant squid on his head, so like a fun and floppy squid hat. I think that's easy to imagine.
I can picture the little
the
hat.
tentacles and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It has a variety of fun taunts. Its up taunt is the giant squid skin ripples with iridescent bioluminescent flashes, just like real giant squids that use chromatophores to communicate. The colors shift in rainbow-like patterns while it holds its one tentacle towards its chin, signaling it's in deep thought. It's down taunt. The giant squid raises one of its long, wiggling it in a beckoning motion while whipping it forward with a crack. Its side taunt. The giant squid's massive, unblinking eye begins to dilate, indicating its centered focus as it makes an ominous, deep-sea echoing noise. Like the echolocation on a submarine, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of sound. It's victory poses. Number 1, up to 2 of the giant squid's defeated foes are shown struggling within its grip as its massive tentacles coil around them. The squid makes what can be called an eerie guffaw as it looks proudly upon its prey. Number 2, satisfied with victory, the giant squid floats back into the abyssal whirlpool from which it came, leaving the victory screen empty as the whirlpool closes. And number 3, the victory screen is completely dark and silent before 2 huge glowing eyes appear, followed by the giant squid's entire body emerging from the darkness. Its tentacles spread around the screen as it distorts slightly, almost as if under deep sea pressure. And now, the crux of the moveset, if you will, the moveset. You got a standard special, the squid snare, where the giant squid extends one of its two longer feeding tentacles forward with a snap. And if an opponent is caught in its grip, the giant squid will quickly reel them in and crash into them with its whole body, launching them forward. This is similar to a tether grab, while also having the somewhat unintentional gift of being a mode of recovery. And this is to note, the giant squid's tentacle will travel about as far as the vampire killer. Side special is the squid jet. The giant squid blasts a burst of seawater from its siphon, launching itself forward with terrible speed. If the giant squid collides with an enemy, it will slap them roughly with its mantle, causing serious knockback. The move can be charged and travels about as far as Ike's quick draw across the charge spectrum, also invoking frames of super armor as the squid travels forward. Up special, Cephalopod Cyclone. The giant squid spins rapidly upwards, its tentacles stretching outward like an eldritch cyclone. This functions both as a recovery move and a combo-heavy, hard-hitting melee move. So it ascends while spinning, only about as high as Ridley's Wing Blitz, but it has a vacuum effect that drags nearby foes in and items towards it. Down special is Kraken's Gaze. The giant squid's unblinking eye flashes briefly, sending out a small bioluminescent beam forward that, if it hits an opponent, will instantly send them into a daze for up to several seconds. And that is a sliding scale. Depending on how much damage they've already accumulated, they'll be in a daze for longer. The startup is the same as Mewtwo's down special. If the giant squid uses this move again while they're frozen in a daze state, it will severely electrocute the opponent before forcing them to fall to the ground, more like Ryu and Ken's Force Attack. The final smash is Leviathan's Wrath. The screen darkens as the giant squid disappears into the shadows. Suddenly, massive tentacles burst forth from the background, jutting upwards throughout the stage. The player is able to control the movement of these tentacles using the control stick to control the left 4 tentacles and the buttons to control the right 4 tentacles. They'll swing and ring around the stage, slamming recklessly into opponents and sticking to them. So they're like sticking onto the tentacles and being swung around. It's a chaotic final smash, or a chaotic beast of the deep, endless ocean. The tentacles eventually pull back, and the giant squid reappears from out of its dark silhouette, returning the battle to. Its extra skill is Ink Cloud, where it inks itself, finding Nemo. It's affected all of us millennials in a way. It disperses ink in a cloud like AoE. Yeah, exactly.
It's the only line I will ever remember.
The giant squid inks, dispersing ink in a cloud like AoE. Any opponent caught within this AoE will have considerable slowdown while within the cloud, and will also be covered in the ink that will keep them slowed down and have them occasionally slip, so long as it's on them. Naturally, that will dissipate over time. I have it down. I may change this. Where fighters like Inkling, who use ink advantage, affected by the ink cloud, which I feel makes sense, and then might even be able to absorb the ink to their benefit. The cloud can be moved around somewhat if the giant squid or other fighters move briskly through it, changing the AoE like a wild painting until the ink fully dissipates. The extra skill can only be used once a minute. And its home stage is the Abyss, which that'll be up on the wiki sometime, I am so sure.
I stare into the Abyss on a very often.
Yeah.
A lot.
With your unblinking eye.
Yeah.
You're more like this squid than you know.
So, I have a few things I need to say. First of all...
Oh, it's alternate costume colors?
I quit. Alright, so a few actual thoughts here. One, if I had to make a moveset for a generic squid, this is more or less what I would have come up with. I would have made the inking be the standard special. And I don't know if I would have come up with Kraken's Gaze, unless I did some research to Kraken mythology or something. But Squid Jet, Cephalopod Cyclone, Leviathan's Wrath. Yeah, that don't make sense to me. My first concern to you is, hey, you know how I make the CSS image and I have like the transparencies? Can you stop making characters that are hell to make transparencies out of? Because the diver was a problem to make a transparency. It was bad.
Yeah.
This image is not going to work for me. It will not work with the transparency generators that I have access to.
You know, here's one potential workaround. Just use a picture of a real giant squid.
How about you find a picture of a giant squid that is transparent? Has a transparent background. You find that for me. My number 2 issue is I honestly I have to ask you, first of all, why did you do this? Like, I need a real answer out of you, and not you dodging the question like you did a few days ago when I first saw you do this. I need to know why the hell are you finding like pictures that are hell? Good. You're probably finding weird shit.
Yeah.
The second thing I need to say, in addition to asking you why, is that first of all, I need to mention that this next statement is not a challenge. It should not be taken as a challenge. But I honestly believe, of all the inane nonsense that you have put on the wiki, and this includes Garfield as a character, and inside Llewellyn Davis and Roland Turner, I think this might be your most unhinged madness you have ever put on the wiki. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I require a real answer. Because seriously, like, granted, you know, maybe Inside Llewellyn Davis is more unhinged, or your La La Land stage. I don't know. But at least of all your characters, nothing that you have ever done has hit this level of unhinged. Garfield is the closest you've been to this.
Oh, man.
I don't think what I'm saying is that crazy that you're losing your goddamn mind over here.
It's Inside Llewellyn Davis and La La Land.
I don't.
Good times.
I don't care.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, a couple of things went through my mind. Number 1, thought was, I hadn't made a character in so long. I think the last one I did was Anthony, which also was a choice.
Yeah.
I wanted to see. Initially, you know, there was an adjacent thing because we talked about it on the show, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And when that got my mind to social, I was like, oh, I have time to think of and then just kind of clicked. I was like, oh, why not make the giant squid into a moveset? You know, instead of maybe an enemy. Yeah, why not a character? And then what really sold it was like, if I do this, then it's gonna have to show up on the CSS at the end of the year, and that will be wonderful. And that was my thought process. And number 4, just to prove I could do it, I was like, hey, we did it.
You could have just done Gooper Blooper.
That would have made a little more sense.
Yeah.
Not you want me to do that next?
No. You know what I want you to do next? I want you to look at the stages that you've made that say a character is their home stage character, but that don't that aren't on the wiki yet. That's what I want you to do next. And I fear, because I know you'll find something. I'm just like, don't do this one, but you're gonna do that one.
The Great Flying Lasagna.
No, you're understanding the opposite of what I said. You're looking at characters whose stages aren't up. I'm saying look at your stages whose characters aren't up.
Oh, you know what? I actually have started working on that.
Oh, good. I need to also work on that some there.
Yeah, something related to. Yeah, something that I have coming up soon on the Smashtopia wiki is another character, and it belongs to a stage that I have done.
Good.
And it's related to something I talked about today. So there you go.
Great concern. Great concern. Great concern.
Yes.
I have so much concern. I'm trying to find my documents so I can be like, what even are your options?
Yeah, I'm curious too. That's.
I know I have it open source. I have so many tabs right now. It's worse than usual. Oh, here we go.
That's saying
Just
something.
just a quick overview.
Mm-hmm.
Orange Star HQ, because you made Andy. The Animus, kinda, because Ezio Auditore, we both made him, but I kind of left you to make the Animus because you do a better job of it. Jasmine Dragon for Iroh, Styrian Forest for Isaac, Dracula's Castle Courtyard for Maria, Burning Town for Victor, Force Evil Spirits for Simon. Hey, the epic Your Chronos stage.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I made my Melodium Fair, and then I made Turbo's Prehistory since he wasn't gonna do it.
Oh, that's very kind and considerate of you.
Yeah, Hulao Gate for Xiaohu Dun, Aeropolis for Phoenix and QQQ.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Grunder. Oh no, I think I wrote that one down. The Dragon Symbol for Medeus, Galleon Rush for Ranulf. The Great Flying Lasagna. Oh wait, I'm saying the stages. I meant to say the characters. Oh well, too late. Yeah. We're in this. The Great Flying Lasagna for Garfield. Jurassic Park for Ellie. Which I thought when I got to that point in the game, I thought it was gonna be more than what it was, since you made a stage. I was like, oh, what's it gonna be? It's like, oh, it's literally a 5-second thing that occurs. Oh, you little fucking kill you. Hospital Extraction was your idea. Sector Zero, Planet Clancer.
Yeah.
The Outer Rim.
Mm-hmm. There's a broad statement.
Aratuza.
Yeah.
Sword Valley. Character-wise, which ones of these were even yours that you have the stage of, but you know their character?
Well, I know one because that's the one I'm going to be doing soon.
Oh, Professor Layton.
That's a good candidate. Maybe it's him.
Or wait, or did Kelly make that stage? It was probably you.
I made Big Ben.
Yeah, because Kelly doesn't make a stage without a character typically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Otis from Owlboy.
Yep. Yeah. Another good idea.
Leon from Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Miku Hinasaki.
Nice.
Stanley from Donkey Kong. Miriam from Bloodstained. Upa. Oh, I understand now. And the last one is Hatham Kinway.
What?
You made the stage.
What did I attach?
Theater Royale. Or Theater Royal.
Oh, well, okay. That.
I mean, hey, if you want to change who the character is, you're more than welcome to do that. I've definitely done it a few times. I've changed character and stage associations a few times.
Perhaps.
Noah and Mio changed several times. I've changed bylifts a couple times.
Yeah. Interesting. I might do that. Okay. Well, that's not actually that many characters.
Yeah,
figure something out.
The higher number is mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you understood what I was putting out now, because I noticed you did not mention that character's name. So yeah, that's coming next.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be something that will it's something we can agreeably say will not hurt the mind as much as the giant squid.
You lost track of you there.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No, you said something like something mind.
Yeah. That next submission will stir the mind.
I only heard that next submission stir the mind.
I don't understand why this happened.
I don't either.
I don't get this. The
noise filter, turning that off didn't help.
No. Yeah. I'll just turn it back on then. It will not, you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Stir the mind
Mm-hmm.
like the giant squid.
Okay.
It's more acceptable
Okay.
generally.
That's a fucking terrorizing statement right there. Generally. Jesus Christ.
What's up next? I don't even know what could be
Up
worse.
next.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean what's up next for you? What's up next for you is going to be Cat Beach.
Yeah, why not? Okay, yes. What's up next for us on this show? Oh, well, yeah. Perfect. He's right there.
Up
God.
next on the show, we're actually getting into our main thing. Hey, look, it's Smashtopia. We're here to make a moveset. And as you can see from our title, we're covering Tiki from Fire Emblem. We teased last time that was like, or I guess technically it'd be 2 episodes ago. Our last Smash Bros. Episode, we teased that we'd be doing a Fire Emblem character. We said like, oh, but we're not telling you who. Good luck guessing out of the 1,000+ options.
Yeah. You thought it would be Devdin, didn't you?
I didn't actually.
Not today.
Flashback to when you actually did a Devdan moveset on Mercurios. God.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
were
yeah.
unhinged. Anyhoodle. So the question first of all is, which version of Tiki are we doing? Because technically there are 3 versions of Tiki.
Mm-hmm.
Although one would be impossible. Because there is young Tiki from the original Fire Emblem game, Shadow Dragon: The Blade of Light, where she was also in Mystery Emblem, or Mystery of the Emblem rather, and has also appeared in Fire Emblem Warriors and in Fire Emblem Heroes and in Dragalia Lost. Then there is adult Tiki, who is in Fire Emblem Awakening, 1,000 years after the original Fire Emblem games with Marth, and who also appears in Fire Emblem Heroes. And then there is Tiki from Tokyo Mirage Sessions, who is like a AI that somehow gets a physical body and does not combat. So that's not the version we're doing.
It's not.
Jonno. I did research that version to just be like, okay, is there anything from you that I can pull to just add something to this moveset? And there really wasn't. I wanted to, but there wasn't really anything that I thought would work well.
I looked into like her hero stuff and sharp FE stuff. We'll see what was incorporated, but safely I can say nothing from sharp.
Yeah. But we decided that we were going to be choosing the young design for Tiki. Because one, it is promoted more than adult Tiki is. It seems to be the more popular form anyways. And it gives us another hit to old classic Fire Emblem. Whereas Smash Brothers tends to only pull from, well, with the exception of Marth, Fire Emblem pulls from what is the most recent Fire Emblem games. Because Roy, Ike, Lucina, Robin, Crom, Corin, Byleth.
Yeah.
I guess
Which
technically
is
Crom wasn't the most recent at that time. Or Lucina, because Fates was out. But
yeah, I mean it's sensible.
no,
it's
Lucina was
promotion.
like
I mean it's the same as the Pokemon thing, but at the same time, it's kind of a shame that some of these games are locked out. Like getting Ike should not have necessarily kept us from getting.
Yeah. He meant to say he was trying to say Lynn, just for our viewers now.
Yeah, that person. How did you know that?
Well, it was really short, and because if you didn't say Lynn, I would have been surprised.
Oh, I said Zafale.
No, you didn't. That's 2 syllables. There was only enough time where we didn't hear you for 1 syllable.
Oh. Oh is 1 syllable as well.
Yeah, that's not a Fire Emblem character.
Is it?
You said, oh, I think. So no.
Yeah. Okay.
I have typed out all the names of every Fire Emblem character before. So I know.
Okay.
There's one
yeah, I
named
believe
Jake.
that. Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
There's also a
Shadow
Kyle. Yeah.
There's also Ogma.
Yes, there is. There's also Noah.
Yeah. Absolutely, there is.
Another detail to bring up with Tiki is that Tiki is a manicat. She can turn into a dragon form. Tiki's dragon form is not necessarily consistent, and this is mostly because of awakening. Tiki,
Mm-hmm.
young Tiki, at least in 90% of her appearances, is kind of a she turns into what's I guess you kind of call it like a big fat dragon that has like a lot of fur on it. It also
Mm-hmm.
has like
Mm-hmm.
feathery wings. Adult Tiki
Yeah.
turns into and you see this both in Awakening Heroes and in Smash Ultimate, is more of a glowing, leafy, thin dragon. It's kind of how I'll describe it.
Yeah.
Um, in Heroes, I think it's also big and fat, but it's got like the little leafy wings and such. But Heroes also
Mm-hmm.
shows young Tiki's dragon form correctly, and she has young Tiki also has that same dragon form in Warriors and in Dragalia Lost. I think she has like wings like that. I think we discussed this, but I think like young Tiki, since she seems to have mostly consistency outside of adult Tiki, the larger feathered wing dragon, unlike what Smash Ultimate shows her as, is what we'd be going with here.
Yeah, thank goodness, because that's what was in my mind while making this moveset. So that's fine with me.
It wasn't in
Yeah.
mine, and it was really before the show. I was like, I should go. I was like, I should confirm the dragon appearances because I thought I had also seen her. Because like some of the mannequins, you will sometimes see in art with like them not fully transformed, but they'll have their wings out. And with Tiki, it's like here's feather wings. But I could have sworn I had an image in my mind of Tiki with like normal draconic looking wings, but I didn't see. I swear I've seen art of it. Because
Mm-hmm.
Myrrh in her standard form constantly has draconic wings out. She's not transformed; she just
Yeah.
has the wings in all of her art and such. Tiki and
Mm-hmm.
most mannequins are not like that. Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in young Tiki's beach alt in Fire Emblem Heroes, she has draconic wings. It's inconsistent. Like this is the only time that she is shown with draconic
Right.
wings outside of the feathery
Right.
type. It's like what is going on? It is so
Mm-hmm.
frustrating. Can we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
consistency? Please.
Yeah. Right.
I'm begging you.
But furry dragon it is.
Furry dragon it is with
Hmm.
feathered wings. All right,
Yeah.
so with that established, let's go ahead and get into things. We're going to enter into it with the entrance animation. Jonno, what do you have for yours?
Tiki flies onto stage in her dragon form before reverse. Like, yeah.
Did you say anything else after reverting because you cut off in the middle of the word?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, but you know, maybe we
Wow.
just get you a new laptop completely.
Yeah, if we can fit that into the budget, that would be
Holy
great.
shit.
I said human form,
Okay.
reverting to human form.
All right. So my interest animation is different. I have Tiki teleporting onto the stage, not quite like the exact same way everyone else does with a teleport rod, just like a magical teleportation. Jesus Christ, your camera. Like she'll teleport while twirling on the stage, and it'll be like light sparkles and magical bubbles bursting around her. Because she's just like, I felt like teleporting in and giggling like a child because that's literally what I am. It sounded like
Yeah,
Tiki
that
to me.
works. Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah, and Tiki's child extremely head and heels, and it's for that kawaii factor. That's a big part of that. So, yeah, I like yours.
Okay.
Out of
Whatever.
what you heard of all of that, yeah, you can,
I
yeah,
heard, I
yours.
think, 7 words throughout that.
Tiki is very popular because she is cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So which one are we going with?
Yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Kirby hat.
Getting creative again. I just said Tiki's hair and headpiece.
I actually don't have the hair. I just did the headpiece. I didn't know what to
Really?
call it, and the wiki page for Tiki does not describe her appearance and give it a name. So I just wrote down tiara because I was like, I don't know what the hell to call this. I can't call it head jewelry because that feels weird. So I just said it's Tiki's tiara, and that's it.
Right. Okay. I mean, what led you to tiara only?
Uh, I feel like not every Kirby hat has hair, and I don't think they all need to have the hair. I was just like, here's something else like that is distinct, and it basically not all every Kirby hat has and or needs hair, and if they have something
Yeah.
that's distinct for them, sure, I figure this can be the distinct thing. Like Ryu can't just be
Mm-hmm.
his headband because Snake's already is,
Mm-hmm.
and the beard, but.
Yeah, I'm cool with it either way. I think, I just felt like kind of standard. I think most of the Fire Emblem characters that Kirby absorbs, I think, do have the hair. Like Marth has hair in tiara,
So does Roy.
Ike has hair in headband, Roy. So that's kind of the standard. And then like Byleth. But yeah, what if you're feeling tiara only? I don't really I
I
don't
mean,
really care, honestly. So
it don't
yeah.
bother me. That was just what I chose.
Okay. Well, whatever works.
All right, let's go into taunts next then. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is your first taunt?
Yes. Let us see. I have Tiki stretches and yawns. I could use a nap.
That makes sense.
And if
I
Martha's on stage, she might instead snap out of her sleep her head and say, Mar, I promise I'll.
You're gonna have to repeat that.
Which part?
The part where if Marth's on the stage, that whole bit.
Okay, if Martha is on the stage, she'll snap out of it and shake her head instead, out of her sleep, and say, Mar, I. Wow, look at that.
Set
Really? Yeah.
after Marmar, I lost you.
I'll try my best. I'll promise I'll try my best. This is pretty bad tonight. I mean, the camera's one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a new camera on the way. Like, literally, during the episode, I bought it.
It's funny if it also didn't make me worry that your laptop was just gonna combust in the middle of things.
I mean, it works fine. The only problem is the video call.
Anyways, what does she say to Marmar?
Marmar, I promise I'll try my best.
Okay. For my first
It's
taunt.
also funny
Oh yeah.
how many times I've had. It's funny how many times I've had to sit in a very quiet house with other people. They're probably like, "Why does he keep saying?" Anyway, again and again. Anyway, what?
I actually considered for my interest animation change to be like her waking up from a nap because I thought that would make a lot of
Mhm.
sense. But I didn't. I was like, that could be fun.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll
Yeah.
consider that for something else. But for my
Mhm.
first taunt, Tiki's gonna take out her dragon stone and she's gonna
Yeah.
spin it atop her finger like a basketball. And while she does this, she's just gonna giggle like a child because that's what she is.
That's funny because what I have for my second taunt is Tiki kicks her Dragonstone upward a couple of times before catching it and giggling. Yeah.
She's a child. It makes sense.
Yeah. like I don't remember what you called it, like hacky sack it.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. Yeah, yeah.
For my second taunt, Tiki is going to let out a small burp of magical flames before saying,
Yeah.
"Oops, excuse me."
Oh my god.
This was the last one I came up with. I didn't have any other ideas.
God. Um. Yeah. Yeah. So, lastly, Tiki smiles at the camera, sparkles surrounding her face while she poses and shouts and says hi. Leans forward and says hi towards the...
I thought about doing something similar to that.
Yeah.
For my last one, this is my favorite one. Tiki will hold up her hands in front of her, pretending they are dangerous claws, and then she'll say the word roar, like a child pretending to be a fearsome dragon.
Yeah, that one's going in. That's fast tracked.
Yeah.
Kick, Tiki, shout. Okay, and then yours were the roar. Yours was... Sorry, I'm
Roar,
just...
burp, and basketball.
Hell of a sentence. Okay. Victory poses.
Victory poses. What's your first one?
Yeah. So my first one is Tiki twirls in space and playfully puffing up her cheeks while...
Take two.
Number 2 already?
Nope.
Oh.
Take two.
Tiki twirls in place before holding her hands, playfully puffing up her cheeks while she says, "That was fun. Let's do it again."
How does she hold her hands? I didn't quite understand that. The rest of it was good, but the hands part. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Holds her hands up to her cheeks. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So for my first one, Tiki will be spinning and jumping for joy as she holds up her dragonstone into the air and says, "I did it, Ban Ban!" Because Bantu,
Yeah.
maybe it's Ban Ban,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Bantu was her primary caregiver that she looked at like a grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. He was pretty much the only dragon that looked after her for time that wasn't problematic.
Zane and Goto. Well, I don't know what their problem. I don't
Yeah,
think
they...
Zane's problematic, to my understanding,
No,
but
no, no.
there's the
He's got a
three of
bit of an
them.
attitude. That's about it.
I know
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
he was like
Well,
he was a trickster, but
mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, nonetheless, Bantu's kind of the main one, so I like that. That's cool.
yeah.
Uh, and then I have Tiki transforms into her dragon form, roaring with a look up into the sunset.
Take two. Mostly the first half.
It's in her dragon form, and then she looks in the sky and flaps. Hello, it's me. And can you hear me very well in
Yes.
this moment?
Yes.
Okay. So Tiki transforms into her dragon form, sky, with a flap of her wings.
Okay, she takes off into the sky.
You know, that's better than what I was thinking. So yeah, let's just say that.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. My second one will also be incorporating the dragon form. Tiki will be flying in from the side of the screen in her dragon form before she'll land on the ground with a loud thud before she lets out a breath of fog attack straight up into the air.
Excellent. Breath of fog, fly. Okay. Tiki looks towards the sky, clasping her hands together. Blessings surround her. She says, "I hope I made Versus Marth, she would instead say, I hope I made you proud, Marmar.
What I missed the quote in the first one. I'm assuming it was Bon Bon instead of Marmar with the same line.
It could be. I said, I hope I made I hope I made Marmar proud.
Thank you. I thought that was the second line.
No, the second line is I hope I made you proud, Marmar. If
Okay.
Marth is on stage.
Okay, that makes sense. For my third one, Tiki will be in her dragon form, flying in loop-de-loops just in the middle of the air, before she notices the camera, and somehow has a childlike grin on her dragon face before charging right for the camera. You
Hello.
should.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, I
There
was
we
gonna
go.
say like whatever you started saying after I finished. No, that was hard.
Yeah, that's because I was screwing with Mike and I accidentally pressed push to talk. Okay.
I wonder
So
if that would help.
I kind of do too, which is why I pressed it. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is slightly like it's not on full bars, so I wonder if that's it. I don't know. This is just unusual.
Well, hopefully it gets fixed. That's it. Well, he's working
What
on
am
that.
I supposed What am I supposed to push?
Well,
Where?
look into your Discord settings and find what your keybind is. It might be under the audio settings. While he's figuring that out, Thompson Victor poses. We got to get those now. Uh, we both want to fast track Tiki saying the word roar and pretending to be a fearsome dragon, even though she actually is one. It's funny. It's
So funny.
funny. Other
Aha, here we
ones.
go.
My burp is definitely a weak one. I like the basketball one, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I kind of don't know about the burp just
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's
It was
slightly
literally
gross.
the last thing I thought of. I was like, Tiki's a child. Children think burping is funny. She burps up magical flames and says, "Oops, excuse me." Sure, why
Oh
not?
yeah.
Jonno will have
Oh
something
yeah.
better. I can get rid of this. Easy.
Yeah, I remember having burping contests as a kid.
See, there you go. It's
I
fitting.
remember winning and throwing up.
That's unfortunate.
I won, so I think it was great.
Did you win something though, or was it just bragging rights?
It was just bragging rights. I think maybe I blew more bubbles than everybody else or something.
Okay. What are we feeling though with the rest of these? And then Victor poses as well. Although I don't really see too much that we would really be swapping around. The only thing that comes to mind as a potential swap is your waking up from a nap. That one could work as a victory pose if we so chose.
Right.
Actually, I
So
guess the
all that we
dragon step
fast
one could.
Yeah, true. Remind me what we fast tracked again?
Tiki holding up her hands like claws and saying roar.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I would have fought so hard for that.
Um yeah. We both had the right idea, the same idea rather, with the Dragonstone and the Giggle. So it's really just a point of is it the hacky sack or the basketball or both? Like,
Not
and by
both.
both I mean a mix of both, not both as in do both.
No, I know what you meant. I don't think both. I think that takes too long in one animation.
Okay, well, maybe we figure out what the second one's going to be and then return to that because I think it's going to be one of them. Um, hmm. Let's see. So we have nap, we have hello, we have burp, and then the two giggling ones. Okay, so which out of those do you feel?
Uh,
Are you feeling?
Read me your nap one first.
Okay, let me read something to you. Maybe only once. We'll see. Tiki stretches and yawns, saying, I could use a nap. And then if Marth's on the stage, she'll instead snap out of her sleepiness and shake her head and say, Marmar, I promise I'll try my best. The one thing that I wasn't sure on is, like, oh, will there be other quotes? I can imagine she'll have quotes versus Lucina or whatever, but I just didn't put them in.
Right. I think she does something for Robin more than she would for Lucina, because she has more interaction with him. That said, I'm trying to think of so if Martha's there, she does both halves of that then.
Right, it could be either one.
Okay. I think can you I'm trying to piece together visuals here in my brain. Um when she's getting sleepy, do you have how are you picturing that? Because I have a possible thought, but I need to know like what you intend by her getting sleepy.
Nothing specific. I just had the stretch and the yawn, so
Oh
like,
right, right.
you
That's what it was.
know.
Okay, I think what makes sense in my brain is stretch and yawn, and then it's one quote without Marth, one quote with Marth, but the animation is the same. I don't know if that's what you were intending, and I just misunderstood, but that's what makes sense to me. Because otherwise, we're adding animation if Marth is there.
No, yeah, no different animation.
Okay. Then I like that. That one I say is in.
Okay,
Because
now
like
just number two.
I really like the idea of like referencing the fact that she was constantly in and out of sleep for like thousands of years because they were scared that she would destroy the world.
Yeah, fun problem to have. Yeah, yeah, let's do that. And then I think we kind of agree that it's a giggle thing
Mm-hmm.
next. Okay, both of them are good. I mean, we can go with the basketball one. I mean, just I think maybe it's more unique. I don't know.
Okay. I can go either way. I do think that one is more unique compared to other because like I had also considered just having her like toss it and catch it. I was like, nah, other people do that. But what's something different that would be like strange but possible? Huh. Spin it like a basketball. That'd be funny.
Yeah, yeah, she can't
Yeah.
dab either because Waluigi already did that.
Also, I think I would just veto the idea of Tiki doing that. Waluigi, sure, fuck it, why not?
He didn't
Tiki,
do it
no,
when
I
he
won't
appeared
allow
as a
that.
guest on this show.
Well, maybe he wasn't feeling it. Who knows?
Oh, so you admit he was here.
No, I'm just tired of arguing.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe Tiki will be interviewed next time.
That'd be weird. All right, victory poses. What do we want? Obviously, at least one of these is going to involve our dragon form because we had 3 or 4 between us. So that's going to happen. But as for the rest, I know you have one or two that mention Marmar. I have one that mentions Bon Bon. I have her breathing straight up into the air. And then I have one where she loops around before it charges the camera.
Right. It was the loop that I didn't record. That's what it was. Okay, let me put that down.
Yeah, she loop de loops and then charges for the camera, while somehow smiling like a child as a dragon. Animators can figure it out. I don't
It's
gotta do
possible.
shit.
And what does she do in the Bonte one again?
She just jumps and spins around like she's in excitement because she just
Okay,
won. She's got a lot of
cool.
energy.
Gotcha. I do like that he's referenced. That's cool. Okay, yeah, and then I had her like I didn't really write it down well. I had her roaring triumphantly towards the sky with a flight of her wings flying into the sky, that sort of thing. It sounds very similar to your Breath of Fog one, but you
Yeah, yeah.
actually mentioned the Breath of Fog, so I would say maybe that one. I would be okay with doing that. Um, let's see. Do you need a reminder on any of mine?
Please.
Okay, so again, one is her in the human form, twirling in place and holding her hands to her face with the cheek puff thing that I explained and saying that was fun. Let's do it again. The next one was what I explained, where your breath of fog is just a more detailed version of that. And the third one is her in human form looking towards the sky, again with those like sparkles and bubbles you mentioned from Naga's blessing surrounding her. She's like semi praying while she says, "I hope I made Marmar proud," or it could be, "I hope I made Bon Bon proud." You know, anything like that. And again, I have a versus Marth quote where if she's fought Marth in that battle, she'll instead say, "I hope I made you proud, Marmar."
I have a couple ideas. First of all, um, fuck. Here's some of my thoughts. Like our two, we have two where she's basically jumping and being all joyful. Mine has her
Mm-hmm.
holding the dragonstone. You have her doing like the little cheek pout type of deal, and then you have
Right?
her praying, and then we both have dragons. Uh, I want to have the loop de loop one.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's your strongest one.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling. I don't know which animation to go with, but of our two Tiki joys, the actually you can say either quote, and I just like both quotes are possible options I can choose from. I just don't know which animation: the spin and jump for joy, while holding up her dragonstone, or the cheek pout. What do you think?
They both have their benefit. I think the one with the Dragonstone, the benefit is she has the Dragonstone, so there's a little bit extra, like, okay, lore, lineage, canon in that movement. Um, I'm kind of leaning mine though, and I'm not just saying, I like, just
No,
because it kind of ups the cute factor.
it ups the kid
So if you,
energy,
right,
and the dragonstone is already
right,
in one of the taunts. So
right, right, yeah, that's fair. So that's kind of my lean, but I again, I'm ambivalent.
okay. Well, then let's go with your animation, and it can have either or of the two taunts. She'll just say whichever one randomly.
Agreed.
We'll have the loop de loops, and then I kind of feel like instead of having either of the two dragon ones, I wonder. I think have the prayer to the prayer one. I was trying to think about something if we wanted to like somehow involve a Naga in that, like like I don't know how. The only thing I can think was have just like a translucent image of Nagabi like in the background,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know
That
if
would
that
be
would
like,
look good.
I can maybe workshop it and figure that out and send it to you once I do.
Yeah,
Um, it might work. I
considering
mean,
she's
it's
praying, she would be praying to Naga.
right. And we've actually seen that in Smash, like in the melee opening where you have Zelda's like giant translucent head in the opening.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
basically trying to think
yeah.
of like how the Sothis PNG for Byleth's Final Smash, but better because a lot of
Yeah,
people talk
yeah.
crap on that Sothis PNG.
Understandably. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, let's say that'll happen. We'll just figure out how to write it down.
All right, all
Cool.
right. Then we gotta move into the moves now.
And apparently push to talk is working so far, so
Yeah,
hooray.
it has been actually. I
What the
didn't want to say
fuck?
anything because I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, it's been like 15 minutes though, so I think it's okay to say. How bizarre. I don't get this.
I think it's just like the auto mic pickup. That might be just like some wiring in your laptop that well that wouldn't make any sense because then push talk you would think would be affected too. Although I don't know, or well if it's the
Well,
automatic maybe
yeah,
it's
because
that.
well,
So I don't know. I don't know.
it can't be the mic really either because it works with push to talk. So it's just,
Well,
it could,
my
yeah.
point though is that push to talk is telling it explicitly, hey, listen to me right now, whereas normally it's just like I'm listening.
Oh yeah.
But am
Yeah,
I
true.
picking you up? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that the webcam coming in will just help fix the other problem because I don't want to. I want to drop $30, not 2,000.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. This mic was in $2,000,
Yeah,
but it was expensive.
yeah. I meant 2 grand on the new computer because I know that's the
Oh,
next step.
yeah.
My computer. I've been using this since the very beginning of this show. This
I'm
computer.
I'm so worried
Yeah.
about when I have to replace my PC. It's like, oh god, you were $1,000 first time around. I don't know. I don't want to know what you're
Right.
going to be next time.
Right. I paid 1,300 for this computer 8 years ago. So I am terrified about
Yeah.
that next. And I've priced it out. I know that I have to spend at least $1,800 to get an equivalent PC. I'm like, oh, great. Great. I want to wait a couple more years. Let's get to season 8 before I have to do that.
Let's just upgrade it piecemeal, bit by
That would be
bit.
great. Yes. Let us
Ah,
call Dr. Light.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, moves.
Moves. A standard special. Jonno, what do you got? If it's not a certain thing, I'll be confused.
Do you mean a breath of fog?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. It's not going to be a breath of fire.
Hey, Bo the dog. Hey. Yeah. So, so my standard special is Breath of Fog.
Good.
One of her more, one of her iconic moves. There's a couple.
Her primary method of attack.
hmm So I have it. Tiki transforms into her dragon form, releasing a gust of fog from her maw. The longer you hold it, the further it travels at first before slowly beginning to dissipate, much like Bowser's Fire Breath. The fog does not deal heavy damage, but it'll push opponents far away from Tiki, although the Gust Bellows, like fighters holding Gust Bellows, Tiki can slowly move back and forth while using Breath of Fog. The closer a fighter is to Tiki while she uses it, the more forcefully they'll be pushed back. And there is a damage meter to this, it's just not extremely high.
Sorry, what? I don't. I heard you, but what do you mean by that last part?
Oh, I mean that it deals damage, but it's not heavy, heavy, heavy damage.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, my standard special is also Breath of Fog. Very, very similar to yours. Similar to Bowser's Fire Breath. It will trail off the longer you hold it, till it gets the range gets worse and worse. So you can't just repeat the thing. And I wasn't too sure about it, but I wrote down that since I think of as of Smash 4, Bowser can tilt his head and aim his Fire Breath. I figured, yeah, that makes sense to me. The biggest difference I have is that well, I mean, I didn't mention like the pushback, but I like that, so I'm just saying keep that. The biggest difference I had is that I don't have Tiki transform during this, or even doing a partial transform. I'm just like, nah, fuck it, Tiki can breathe it. I don't care. I wasn't sure like if full transformation. Well, you know what? Kazuya does it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Kazuya's the
he
full
does.
transformation. It's a little bit different because he's not like having a different size and mass to his body, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
This is something that we didn't. Uh-oh, something
I
happened.
I popped my neck when I did that. It's like, oh
Oh,
god,
fuck. Shit.
don't get old,
Yeah, I
kids.
didn't. Right. Um, yeah, I didn't really think about this all too much before. Like maybe we should have talked about it. Like, oh, does she fight in a dragon form or not? Blah blah. Because I'll say right off the top, all of her moves for me have her in dragon form. But I also think that it's so negligible. Like she can do these moves without it.
Hmm.
Like either which way we go. The way I did Medeus on the Smashtopia wiki was that like parts of his body would transform and then the final smash had the full transformation.
Yeah,
So it's really, I mean, we're just kind of running the gamut. I think that those are the three options.
yeah.
She
I
does it in
think
her human form, yeah.
I think it depends on the attack. Like two of mine are a partial transform, and the others, and then the final smash is full, and then the others are just like human. This one, I would not do a partial transform because that terrifies me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to see Tiki with a dragon head. No, that
I
sounds
think it works for
awful.
Medeus because he's terrifying already. He's
Sure,
bad.
sure.
Yeah.
Uh, I think going the dragon form works for this. I think it makes sense to me. That's fine.
Okay, and again, if we get through this and want to say the contrary, that's also whatever.
Yeah. And then the last note I have is speaking of elemental damage. Not that, that doesn't have like elements of like, this is better than this, but more times like, how badges, not badges, like stickers and spirits affect elements. Fire is not what she's doing. First of all, it's called Breath
Right.
of Fog. In Dragalia Lost, it's water damage, but I didn't want to do that. Instead, Tiki is a divine dragon. Divine light. I was thinking light element damage, kind of like what Palutena does. I was also considering magic element, because that also has like its own elemental set of stat adjusters in Smash.
Right. Right.
Originally I wrote down magic damage, but I changed it purely based on the notion of Idun is a magic dragon. Like that's her classification. Magic, whereas Tiki is divine. It's like, okay, I'll just call it light element. I'm pretty sure that's what Palutena does. I'm pretty sure that's an actual damaging element.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on that too.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
double
I'm
check.
yeah, I'm definitely open to the light element. And I'm open to the head tilt as well. It sounds like our moves can flushly work together, which is pretty good, pretty cool.
Oh, there isn't.
Oh.
There is not a light element. Palutena, what the fuck do you do then? Is yours just all in magic? Well, what Palutena? What's her up smash then considered? Because that's what I'm thinking of. That I would consider light.
I would assume it is magic then.
Doesn't look like it says. Because the page for magic effect doesn't include that one for her. It just says neutral tech. Up smash. It literally says it right there. I'm an idiot. I can't read. So yeah, I guess magic elements then instead of light, since that's not an existing thing.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. So magic element then.
Yeah, magic element damage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just plan on mixing our two Breath of Fogs into one.
Yeah, primarily yours. But add the limited aiming potentially, depending on how you feel about it, and then the clarification that it's not fire element, but magic.
Yeah, and I can just make a note to do that, so that way, when it's sent your way, it'll just be done.
Yep, cool. We already have one move figured out. Hey, look at that, awesome. Side special.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Tiki, as you said, it's her stuff. She's not really a general dragon. It's not like fire breath is not the most common thing with her. So I got a little cute with it. I couldn't actually remember. I think in Shadow Dragon this was true. That she would use ice breath.
Yep,
And yeah, okay, good, because I was remembering that Nils and Ninian were also ice dragons. I'm like, am I? But I'm pretty sure that like she
I
sleeps in the
I
ice dragon
literally
temple.
looked at everything Tiki could do across every game,
Hmm.
and she also does have her own fire breath and dark breath.
Mm. Yeah, she does. She does. But yeah, ice breath. I went for ice breath with a side special. Um, Tiki releases a burst of bright blue flames, but it's not fire, it's ice. The initial burst is rather strong, and foes will want to keep away from her jaw when she releases it because they will be at risk of being meteor smashed. So she's like huffing and puffing. So there's that bring down with her jaw. Um, Ice breath will then be released in a quick moving, steady jet that dissipates about as quickly as Squirtle's water gun and can be angled diagonally up or down when used. Super armor frames and startup lag are here for sure. It can freeze opponents.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, it's not. It's called ice breath, but it's not like breath the traditional way. It's a projectile.
Yes.
Okay.
I
All
wanted
right.
to do it like that because Breath of Fog was already Breath.
Yeah, makes sense. For my side special, I did not know what to do, man. I had one kind of enjoyment of something possible. I looked up Fire Emblem Warriors to see like what her attacks looked like in that game. It's like, okay, yep, that looks like I could probably do that. And then I looked up Dragalia Lost. It's like, oh, yep, she has that same attack again, but this one has a name. It's like, okay, so we have Divine Wings. Tiki will
Oh,
manifest her feathery dragon wings on her back, and she will swing them forwards, creating a gust of air in front of her that knocks things
oh,
back.
interesting. I do like that. That's interesting. Okay.
You have
Divine
that somewhere, it
Wings.
sounds like.
Actually, no, I don't. I hadn't thought of that. I didn't look much into Dragalia Lost, so that's cool. Let me put that down
Originally, I was going to call
because
it Draconic Wing, or like, no, I was going to call it Draconic Wing Beat at first, because like that sounds cool. And then so,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
Dragalia Lost has basically this move with an actual name. All right, cool. We'll use the actual name.
Whoa.
You just went Cyclops.
Well, fuck me then,
Asking gay.
asshole. Okay.
All right, up
Anyway,
special. Up special time.
yes. Divine Ascent is the name of my up special. Tiki pushes her wings towards the ground and moves gracefully upward into the air with some startup lag. Once in the air, she can flap her wings another time to carry her up even further, and this takes her about as far as two of Ridley's wing blitzes in total. So, in heavy dragon form, not moving up very high. Um, the move deals moderate damage to foes hit directly by her wings, so with more damage being dealt with the first push than the second. It can be angled somewhat while moving through the air and can be canceled out from at any time. Sparkles surround Tiki as she travels upward, with super armor flames with each flap. Gust blows from beneath her wings with each push, moving opponents forcefully downward.
So it's Robin's up special.
In a way, yeah, but in heavy dragonness.
Oh, because you have her transforming fully.
Right, and that's where I'm mentioning
Right.
like super armor and lag. So that's where like yeah.
Okay. Uh so whereas you did Robin's up special, I did Corin's. It's Draconic Ascent.
Oh, the spin, if I recall. Okay.
Yeah. Manifests just the wings, flaps down, propels her upwards, and spins as she goes up in the air.
I actually so I that was exactly my up special for Tiki,
Yep.
and I changed it because the giant squids up special is very similar.
I would call the giant squids more like Link's, Donkey Kong's, and Bowser's.
Yeah, also true. Also true, actually. Yeah.
Because they're more
Okay.
like doing
Yeah. Cool.
that kind of like a flat horizontal spin, whereas Tika's more like the tight vertical spin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Cool. Good.
All right.
Solid.
Uh, down special. I've got something I really like for this one, but you go first.
Okay, I have Dragon Pulse, not from Pokemon. Tiki slams her wings down to the ground, releasing a shockwave of energy around her that travels across the ground. Like Ike or the Black Knight Sword Beams, this deals strong cutting damage and knockback as well as frames of super armor, but has a bit of startup lag. Fighters too close to Tiki with this move fighters too close to her when the move is used can experience an earthquake effect, where they are flinching in place, or they can even be grounded into the earth like DK's special.
All right.
At two.
So, first of all, I will say that I think this move could work either as a down special or as an extra skill. I'm going to go ahead and just bring that out here. But this move does not involve any draconic abilities in the slightest. This is purely Tiki, and by purely Tiki, that's technically a lie. But there's no draconic ability to any of this. One of Tiki's three caretakers was Goto, an accomplished mage. Goto had a few tomes that he gave away to specific people that he trusted them with. And I figure, who's to say he can't teach one of these spells to Tiki? So I have Tiki using the spell Aura. So what will occur is Tiki will. This was a move that needs to be charged up in order for it to have. I had two different versions. I wasn't sure if charging would make the move larger or if it would allow you to aim with the move in a similar manner to Greninja's Shadow Sneak. But essentially, through some method of charging, Tiki will be able to cause a burst of light to erupt out of the ground in front of her to damage foes. Uh, if you're able to charge it, then or charging it would increase the height for how far up the light burst goes. Otherwise, if you can aim it, you could potentially aim it to be like right on top of her, and damage to be directly above her, or move it forward a set distance, and that can just be like a bit of a surprise attack, kind of like Din's Fire or again Shadow Sneak. I just really sure which effect to go with, and I was at one point considering having both, but it felt weird to do both because like okay, if I'm aiming it, that means I'm also charging it, which means if I don't know, it just I wasn't sure how to make that work entirely in my brain, but I like the idea of her learning a spell from Goto. Uh, Smash likes giving characters things that so and so taught them how to do this move. Ness. I figured I'd do
Lucas,
that for
yep.
Tiki.
Yeah, since the precedent is there, it's not weird.
Yeah.
And since the precedent's there, I like it a lot. I am down with this move. It's really interesting and offbeat. Like it's not something I would have come up with out of the blue for sure, but it works. It's good, and that aura does have that animation in a few of the games. I think in
Yeah.
Shadow
So
Dragon,
some
and
games
yeah,
it has the light bursting from around the character and then it falls down on top of the other one. Some games it just
right,
bursts out at your enemy. Bursting out the enemy made
right,
more sense to
right.
me.
Yeah, Path of Radiance does it that way. I think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And now on to final smashes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I go first. That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I didn't. I guess I forgot to name this, so there's a problem. But
That
anyway,
means I get to come up with it.
oh yeah, using the divine power of Naga's blessing, Tiki transforms into her like full on divine dragon form. Not adult like human, but just with more of the trimmings. Like we discussed how she'll be like that fatter feathery dragon, but maybe she gets like a few more plumages or something to know like okay. She can be controlled by the player. She releases massive waves of energy across the stage with her wings, or a stronger, persistent beam of ice breath or breath of fog. And I imagine that being released kind of like a shorter form aura storm. Even being touched by Tiki in the storm will deal slight damage, or heavier damage if she rams into you.
All right. I'll probably call that. I'll call that the original email I was going to do for mine, and it's just simply what makes the most sense. Blessing of the Divine Dragon.
Cool. There you go.
Then I changed the name of mine to be Divine Dragon's Joy, because again, this is a child. So, this is not cinematic. This does not control the character. Tiki will fully transform into her divine dragon form, and be like she'll like giggle and be all happy while she's transforming because there's a joy in there, and she'd be like, "Oh, this is fun," and she's gonna let out a blast, a far-reaching just tonal blast of fog breath across the screen, and then she does it again, angled upwards, and then again angled downwards, again upwards, again downwards, and then finally one more blast towards the middle. She's having fun. She's just blasting.
God, you just had to go there.
Literally, the only notes
Yeah.
I have I actually physically wrote down for this final effect because I kept the rest of my brain was just like blast, blast, blast.
So anyway, I just started blasting.
That's what Tiki is doing.
Hey, calling Danny DeVito. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's Tiki's voice
Okay.
actor, right?
I wish. Okay. Very good. Very good. Imagine that. Did I do good, Mama?
Good. Good. I'm gonna have a hairball.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Extra skill. Extra
Yeah.
skill. Let me bring this on home. I have this down as Naga's Blessing. I might just call it Dragonstone. I don't know. But Tiki holds a Dragonstone in both hands as it goes a subtle blue, and she begins to heal herself. The more seconds pass, the higher percentage that she'll heal at a time. She can move after startup and can play keep away from her opponents to continue healing, but if she is hit once, the stone will break and the move will end. The stone will also disintegrate once it heals her up to 50%, which admittedly would take some time. Like, let's say 30 seconds, 40 seconds. When an opponent hits her with Naga's Blessing activated, she will not flinch due to her temporary armor that the blessing has surrounded her with, although the stone will break. There are some exceptions, such as with final smashes, and it can be used only once per stock.
Okay, so he would heal 1.6 hit points a second.
Yeah.
I had to figure out, I was like, okay, how overpowered does this sound? Because healing, we've talked about it before. Healing is something we have to be very careful with. Because that is the easiest thing to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
OP.
Yeah.
My extra skill is trash.
What?
Um,
Garboders here?
no, it's ice
Lumiosity?
breath, and it's just breath
Oh.
attack. I just to make it different, I was just like it can't be aimed. Well, the best way I had to like make it different would be like, okay, instead of like aiming it, it's automatically angled diagonally downwards, so it's hitting like down towards. It's
Right.
like using in the air could be interesting because you hit
Yeah.
somebody below you. Beyond that, it's just towards the ground, and it kind of like rolls along the
Hmm.
ground more or less a short distance. But that's
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. I have no need to keep it.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I mean, we'll see what happens when we get into the crux of the moveset deliberation, which I guess is right now. What
Now I select them. We got Breath of Fire. That's easy. For up
Yeah, for
special,
sure.
I'm just gonna say it's yours.
What was
Uh,
yours again? Oh yeah, the
it's
spin.
Corin versus Robin.
Right, right.
What one adjustment I feel like should be made to yours though is that, or maybe it might not be an adjustment, it might be a clarification. The blasts of wind that follow whenever she flaps her wings, I think compared to Robin, that should be like very short distance, just so it's a little bit different, and also just because like we're big dragon, we're over like a big thing. Make it,
Okay.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could have done either one, but if you want to go with mine, I'm fine with that. That's cool.
Yeah. Remind me what your down special was.
That was Dragon Pulse or Draconic Pulse. It was the one where she releases energy from out of her after swinging her wings into the ground, kind of like the beam that comes out of Ragnar. And it comes out on both sides. Travels a short distance, does cutting damage, and then that move also is like a very active meteor smash or like grounding move if you're hit by the wings.
Okay, it comes out of both sides of Tiki.
Yes, because she's slamming her wings down in such a way that they're both coming down at the same time.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, that's the move of mine that I think is the weakest.
What's the distance on it? Like how far does the beam, quote unquote beam, travel from her?
Not incredibly far. I would say stretch Ridley up like his up taunt, and then lay him down horizontally, and that's how far it goes.
It goes that far on each side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I never really workshopped like what it would look like in midair if it would work the same. I don't know.
I think it would. I think it would because there's other things that are kind of like that.
Yeah,
I'm
and but it
where my mind is, and I don't know what the limit is. But my mind is like shrink the distance of that some to something. 'Cause or maybe it's a charge move. Is it a charging move?
can be. Yeah.
I think we make that a charging move. Side special is ice breath. Extra skill is aura, and then it's final smash.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. So then Final Smash is.
Do you
I
want
would
to?
say it's yours.
You would say it's mine?
Yeah, I think so. Only I like it because even though it's a little, it's not as utilitarian as mine maybe, but it's different, right? Like it's very different from any other Final Smash in the way that it's telegraphed, and also it's just more fun.
Yeah, I didn't want to make it be like the same pattern because like, nah, we're not
Right.
gonna have this
Yeah.
be a same pattern. But I also didn't think random would work. It was like forward, up, down, forward.
Hmm.
It gives
Yeah.
like you experience it a few times, you'll know its pattern. But the very first time you go up against, you'll think, oh, it's gonna repeat. Oh, it didn't repeat. Oh. And even then, like they're coming
Right.
out
Right.
quickly. It's like quick blasts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Okay.
So that's the moveset.
That's the moveset.
Okay. So to recap, Breath of Fog, Ice Breath, Divine Ascent. Down is what did we say down was?
You called it Dragon Pulse.
Oh right, Dragon Pulse. Final Smash is Divine Dragon's Joy. Extra skill is Aura.
Yep.
I am down for that.
All right. We have two last things to discuss. Then, first of all, alternate colors. Uh, I just had some thoughts of like, okay, it's young Tiki, but what about one where she's wearing her outfit from Awakening, or like a color scheme based
Yep.
off of it, more likely, and also color scheme based off of her dress in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is more of a blue, purple, pink, and then also it's like, okay,
Hmm.
well, other Maniquettes from the series, Myrrh, Naga, Naui, Lumera, each of them could give you a different color palette.
Yeah. Lilith, Medeus, Zane, Montu.
Oh, Lilith would be very similar to Lumera. Maybe I switch out
Oh,
Lumera for
sure.
Elir or something, but there's a lot of choices.
Yeah, there are. There are. And it sounds like you have a few different ones between each other's, like, so that could be something you could workshop out.
Yeah, there's more than enough Maniquettes, and even if there's like if there's too many of them the same color palette, it's like okay, generic fire dragon.
Yeah. The final boss of Fire Emblem 7.
Yep. Or what? Something. There's Maniquette inspiration. There should be enough to pull from in theory.
Definitely.
And if not that, I can look at both Tiki's alts in Heroes. Like okay, here's one that has a color scheme based off of when Tiki had her Halloween outfit. Sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you can go all sorts of directions. Even the dragons in the Radiant games are very similar in the looks to Tiki's original dragon form.
Yeah.
You can give her a Deginsia's haircut and mustache.
That I will not do. But I
Yeah.
could look at the Gensi. I could look at Kurth Naga. I could look at Zane. Although the only news of Zane I know is his Halloween outfit in Heroes where he's dressed up like a jester. I actually don't know what Zane looks like. Wait, no, I think I've seen his art, but only Halloween Zane is in Heroes. Only Halloween Deginsi is in Heroes. Yeah, that's right. I said Halloween Deginsi. He's like a vampire. It looks fucking cool.
Don't threaten me with a good time coming back to that game. My goodness.
I actually have barely touched it in the last year. I fell off honestly. I fell off hard when remote work started happening because it would be a nice distraction on my work desk. I could just like in the middle of my task, I would be like, "Ha, click button." Well, now
Oh yeah.
I have other distractions at home.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Um. Last thing, home stage. For me, I was debating between two things, and a lot of times the home stage has something that's like a connection to the character, but they don't really have to be. It could be anything from their game or series, as long as it's a cool location. But the ones I was primarily looking at was things associated with Tiki, which is in Shadow Dragon, it's the Ice Dragon Temple, because that's where you find her. That's where she's been sleeping. And then in Awakening, you find her at the Mila Tree, which is weird because that's more associated with Mila from Fire Emblem 3 than it is from, Marth's games, which is okay, odd. But other two of them I went with Mila Tree because the Ice Dragon Temple just looked kind of generic. And whereas the Mila Tree is like, hey, look, treehouse or something. Sure. What do you got?
Oh, sorry, I forgot about push to talk. Mila Tree.
Okay. Mila Tree it is then.
Boom.
Boom. And then eventually one of us will make that stage. In 6 years.
That is true. That is true. More, yeah. So season 12, and by episode 300, where we will have everything that we've ever said we'll do for the wiki, like those characters that don't have stages yet, or vice versa. Those will all be up.
No, they won't.
500 of them.
Each. I have some things like that haven't been up since 2017. So no, they won't.
By then, we'll have made movesets of each other to put on the wiki.
Maybe. Actually,
maybe.
No, I think that's planned for season 10.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
You said by then, though. You said by then. That's true. By then. Anyways, that's Tiki. She's done. It'd been a while since we did a Fire Emblem moveset. Because we had a period where we had a lot of them kind of in a short order. So we took a step back from that. But there she is. There's Tiki. A great choice to add in.
I really enjoyed that. I think that was maybe my favorite one we've done so far. I think we both came up with some pretty good moves.
I mean, fixing Byleth wasn't your favorite. Adding Ranulf wasn't your favorite.
This season.
Oh, okay. Your favorite since Ranulf?
It could be. And no, Byleth is not my favorite. not in any world.
Ranulf would have been the last Fire Emblem character that was on the show, I think.
Wow. Okay. So it's been like 3 years.
Oh wait, maybe. Yeah. Ranulf was the last one because we didn't do any in seasons 4 or 5. We took a bit of break from him. Push talk. Oh, you're just intentionally not pushing the talk. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it on that one. Who knows who we'll do next for Fire Emblem or when? All I can tell you for sure is that it's not going to be Alear. Because Alear would bore the crap out of either. The only way I would ever make an Alear moveset is if he's a summoner, and just all his moves summon somebody else. And in which case, just make a moveset out of that somebody else.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yep. Anyway.
Yeah. Next time on Super Cast Brothers, it's a Smasher Dash episode. We've got a guest. We're doing a battle royale, and I'm actually going to tell you a bit more information than normal. It's going to be all Pokemon. So we're going to take 4 Pokemon. I'm going to tell you which ones or to think about them. And they're going to be in a battle royale format. We're going to figure out which of 2 out of those 4 Pokemon we would add to Smash. And I really don't know. I have some idea, but I really don't know how it's going to go.
Oh, it'll be a time.
Yeah.
It'll be a time. Okay, yeah, until then.
Until then.
May the dragon's blessing be upon you.